The eyes of the mining and minerals resources world will be on South Africa again next week when Mining Indaba 2023 takes place in Cape Town from 6 to 9 February. Trading in commodities plays an important part in the mining and minerals financial and investment ecosystem. So joining me now to give us more insights about that is Emmanuel Ngulube, the CEO and co-founder at E&T Minerals. Emmanuel, thanks very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me, Gary.
Tell us a little bit about the history of E&T Minerals.
E&T Minerals was founded by myself and Daniel Eyre back in 2013. Daniel and I went to school together. We met when we were 16 at King Edward VII School. And from there we had an entrepreneurial spirit and we tried many different businesses. But in 2013 we began a journey in the commodity space, and we looked to focus predominantly on the domestic market here locally, where we're selling to large burners like Saping Godwana, Lafarge Cement, and building the domestic desk for a German Frankfurt listed company called HMS Bergbau. And then after that, started to dabble in the export space, where we then began exporting through larger traders, to name a few like Mercuria and, and the likes of companies like that. And for the last 10 years, we've taken a key interest to build something that is sustainable, reliable, and efficient. We are looking to build a pit-to-port solution that is both economical and can be built and run for a very long time, as well as looking to supply the domestic market reliably and efficiently over the history of our company.
You can't really separate minerals from energy.
Not at all.
In the South African context. No. As we're talking here, we're talking while a generator is running in the background. So what change can E&T Minerals bring to the energy sector?
We are looking to play both sides of the energy sector. We believe that renewables and fossil fuels need to live in the world together. I think we need to balance our energy in South Africa. So we believe strongly in the renewable movement. But we believe that movement is for bigger corporates, large burners, people that actually, put strain onto the South African grid. And we want to bring in projects. We partnered with a company out in France that we're looking to establish projects, solar projects and renewable projects here in South Africa for large corporates, as well as looking to establish a mine out in the Lephalale coal fields. It's a 1.6 billion ton asset, which is close to Medupi, which is one of our newer power stations. And for all its woes, we believe that Medupi at some point will have to run. And we want to play our role there and give sustainable coal, give the people, a sustainable and reliable supplier. I think those are the key things for us, is to be excellent, to be reliable, to be transparent, and, to build something that is sustainable for our country.
You've been around for 10 years, and to be around for 10 years as a young company is quite something. Coming through all kinds of global pandemics and just to keep the lights on in South Africa being the struggle. But so you've been around for 10 years. So tell us a little bit about, how does that really start playing into E&T Minerals being part of the big game now, the big players? How do you get yourself into contention?
A lot of stress. I think it's been, the last 10 years have taught us a lot of lessons. And in the last 10 years, I think we've made all the mistakes. And sometimes that's not always a bad thing. We've had to fight through our mistakes, had to learn from our mistakes. And we look to honestly build something, like I had said previously, that's sustainable for this country. And in the next 10 to 20 years, we look to establish projects that will help relieve South Africa's energy crisis. We're looking to establish assets in and around the SADC region. We have a lithium asset we're looking at in Namibia. We have a rare earths asset we're looking at in Namibia. We were given land in the northwest to develop a chrome asset. And we are looking at developing rail infrastructure between the SADC regions. So we're currently working with a company called Indlela, who are looking to buy wagons between Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and South Africa. And we're looking to actually create a more efficient export market. We believe that we need to be, reliable global citizens, as well as, be the change we want to see on the ground in our country. And I think we want to build that over time. And we look to do that in the next 10 to 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, if we can stay that long.
So ultimately, you're about investments. How does that fit into this entire ecosystem that you've just explained?
I guess with trading, a lot of people think it's just buying and selling, and I think it's important to understand who you buy from, how long these assets are available, what's really in the ground. There's been a lot of horror stories in Africa, not just South Africa, where people have put in, millions and millions of rands and dollars into the economy and lost their money. So I think investments play a big role in the commodity game, and you have to look at these investments with the long-term and sustainable view. And we look at all the risks, we mitigate the risks, we look at the operational, so we run the operations from a pit-to-port solution. E&T is looking to create a pit-to-port solution. We last year managed to successfully, ship our first international vessel during the energy crisis globally, and looking to supply almost a vessel a month into the European sector going forward this year.
Just finally, describe your company in 4 words.
Excellent, reliable, efficient, and transparent.
Emmanuel Ngulube, the CEO and co-founder of E&T Minerals, thanks very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much for your time.
That's where we leave this discussion for now. You can catch more insights from E&T Minerals during the Mining Indaba next week. Thanks for watching.